Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the news. 12-volt news, the best kind ever. But before we get to that, let's find out the weather. All right. What do we got for weather today, Fernando?
Today's beautiful. It's 77.
77?
77.
I guess it rained last night.
It rained, a lot.
So I haven't driven my car, it feels like 2 weeks. Probably about 2 weeks.
Ah.
And I did get to drive it here yesterday with the top down, but then it rained all day yesterday, so I had to have the top up. And then this morning I had to... It's funny. Just driving my car feels weird at this point, because between...
It's almost the same as Tennessee right now, -3. It's 77. The high is gonna be 86. The low is gonna be 73. So
I think the main difference is gonna be the humidity.
Yes.
Ours will be 100%.
Yeah. Just pumping right there.
Actually, I think it'll be 110% because all else is just
110%.
Yeah, you got to give 110%. Florida's an overachiever, you know. But we got stories for you today.
Yes.
Some are sad, some are happy. But hey, you know, the joy of the 12-volt industry right now, like everyone else, it's just an up or down roller coaster of utter happiness and pure sorrow. So let's get going, shall we?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's do this. Try to remember what button to hit.
Oh, yeah. No kidding, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. So, first up, dealers chip in for airship decks.
Yes.
Now, this is kind of funny because recently we've had to have something airshipped in for us. And, dude, air shipping is expensive. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
It is not cheap. However, on the flip side, as we both know, container ships are just so astronomically ridiculous, it doesn't even make sense. I mean, $20,000 to $30,000 for a container is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
However, the size of the container, proportionally compared to the size of what it costs to fly something over, is still cheaper to ship, believe it or not.
Yeah.
However, what radio manufacturers are doing, now this is weird because I don't... Reading the article, it really didn't point to... I don't think they interviewed any dealers that actually paid the money to do it. Now, here's the idea. I feel this is for, like, bigger chain stores that are going to order hundreds of thousands, like 1,000 radios or something like that, or hundreds of radios. You're buying into the added cost of the shipping. So it's anywhere between $10 to $20 more per radio to have them so that you can have inventory.
And that's what you're talking about. Exactly that. Distributors, big dealers, they're actually looking for
gonna
like
pay a lot.
Thousands of radios.
But I don't think any independent retailers have had this happen.
Now keep in mind, some of these radios, your profit is $10.
Oh yeah.
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 So now, in the end of the day, for you to not lose a customer,
You're not gonna make any money.
You're willing to just not make the money, but just keep you store in business.
But you're not, because you're not making any money. So you're trading 0 for 0.
I know, but it's like, all right, hopefully they get better, and
so
we can get back.
One
to
of the
it.
dealers pointed out that this is a terrible practice, and that if they're planning on doing this, then they need to raise the minimum advertised price of the radio by $10 to $20. For one, accounting, because you're not going to know. Here's what I thought. You're not going to know which radios you had to pay this on. The only ones you have in the store. Duh. But two, for that specific reason, is that, if the retail on the radio is $2.99, and believe it when he said $10 profit, yeah, that's what you're talking about. There is not a large markup on radios at all.
No.
And then you add another $10 to $20, your cost onto it. It could almost be a wash just selling it.
Yeah.
However, most people were positive about paying the extra $10 to $20 just to have inventory of some kind.
Yeah.
And they also feel that at this point, most people are used to being overcharged for things just because it's not necessarily overcharged. It's just new pricing because of a limited supply, the extra cost of shipping, because everything is going up. So I don't. At this point, putting a minimum advertised price or a suggested retail price on anything is almost stupid, because it changes. It seems like it changes daily.
And the only thing I'm gonna say is, if you go in and looking for a radio and you find it and it's like $10, $15, so $20 above the regular price that you used to buy, hey, don't be like, oh my God, hey, can you give me a deal?
Yeah.
Right now it's really hard.
There's no
so
deals.
just
Because there's a guy waiting
pay
behind
the price. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I always like it when stories dovetail into other stories, and this is going to be no different. Even Amazon is low on decks.
There you go. Yeah.
For those of you that haven't been playing at home, yeah, you'll see. I mean, it was funny because even like Derek and Hi-Fi tried to do a show on this, which of course I debunked the next day.
Right.
Because they equated it as the death of the car stereo, and I was like, no, it's not the death of the car stereo. It's the demand is so high, and the production is basically flat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's by far the death of the car stereo, which is funny. I mean, that's the difference between someone that actually does it for a living and somebody observing on the outside. We can't get enough radios to fulfill the desires of people.
No.
However, as we can see here, neither can Amazon or Best Buy or any of those others. So these are the companies that are willing to pay that extra $10 or $20.
Believe me, and they're willing to pay for that. Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, they're again a wash to them is a wash. If they make $5, they make $5. They're just hoping. Yeah, even Android and Boss Decks. Yep. So. Most of these, like they did some checks on internet, and they found like somebody had one ILX W650 in stock, which was probably an error. They probably always have one in stock. There were some Pioneers in stock, like this. They said they found 11 AVH 2500 NEXs. I don't know who's been sitting on those, because like Pioneer hasn't had inventory in almost a year and a half. I mean, they're just finally starting to fill.
It's like the people they sit on DSR ones for like I don't know how long.
Yeah. Years,
Okay, I take it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like finding.
Yeah.
And most of this is in the inexpensive radio, so that that below $400 price point radio is almost non-existent. And that's where now you should be looking at getting your better radios. Those $800 radios, those you can find. Because they are $800 radios, and most manufacturers are concentrating on making those radios because that's the only way they can make money. These inexpensive decks have almost no margin, and by the time by the time these are low price leaders, meaning they make no money on these. And if you have two chips in stock, if you have one chip and you have to choose between an inexpensive radio that you make no money on or a radio that you can stand to make some money on, naturally it's going into that radio. So that's why you're seeing some of these more expensive radios actually available, because these guys want to make money. There's no money for them in a $399 radio at all. Just like for us, paying that extra $20 to $30 to ship in a $299 radio doesn't make any sense because we're only going to make $10 on it. So it's just a little bit of inside ball. As always, we try to keep you apprised of what is happening in this crazy time where this is unbelievable stuff happening. I mean, this is literally like, none of this makes any sense.
No, like literally everything stops, right? For some reason, we thought that was just like nothing. This happening, and everything started putting back and back and back, and
we found out last night too, that the old school car stereo meetup that was going to be at Stillwater was canceled.
Oh man, that
so
sucks.
another event gets. Well, I mean, when we were there, the day we came in, the morning we talked to Steve, as soon as we got to talking to Steve, they posted, they did a blast email to everyone saying everything was canceled. So all the visits and all that. The only reason why we got to stay is because we were grandfathered in. We showed up that morning. So we got cleared. But everything else went back to 100% COVID. And we won't even talk into what is trying to happen in politics right now, because this is not a politics channel. This is a car stereo channel. And with that in mind, back to, wrong button. This button is what I was trying to go for.
Yeah.
Move that
There you go, perfect.
Kingpin announces 2 upcoming classes in person.
Ooh.
I know this totally goes against what we're talking about, but hey, they're in Vegas, so anything is possible. September 20th, Box Building 101 promises to teach enclosure design in a way that maximizes sound and style. And then on November 17th through the 19th, the focus expands on a complete system with fundamentals of car audio. Not that I'm a tad upset by their lack of ingenuity in coming up with a name that shows any creativity on their own. That's okay. It's not like we patented it.
No, it's fine.
Congratulations to them. So if you're interested in attending either one of these courses, of course, you can find out more about these or you can find out more information about. Let me go back to here.
Yeah.
Let me do this. Let me hit that. Let me do this. We only got, I got to do everything. If you'd like to find out more about these stories that we're talking about now, make sure you head over to CE Outlook, which we will have links for every story that we talked about in the description after this video. We'd like to thank CE Outlook for providing us with these stories so that you guys don't have to read this stuff. So don't feel like you have to go and read.
Yeah.
But if you'd like to read more, of course, and dig deep and not just have our opinions. Now, for these classes that you can attend at Kingpin, you're looking at about you're looking between it basically says $850 to $899. So basically $900 you can get into this class. And I will say this, Jason is a great instructor, and these classes, according to which we've talked to plenty of people that have attended these classes, and they get nothing but great information out of them. So I would strongly recommend, if you're interested in upping your box game and or just need a reboot of the fundamentals, head over there, sign up, pay for the class, fly out to Vegas, because hey, it's Vegas, baby.
Exactly.
Why would you not want to go?
And yeah, most of these events are gonna be canceled, unfortunately.
Yeah, so get to an event while you still can.
Yeah, if you have the opportunity. I mean, they have to wear your mask and you have to do
My
whatever.
guess is SEMA is going to happen because.
Did you get the other email?
Yeah, but it didn't say.
They say just like everything is fine.
Yeah,
we're not going
anything.
back. We're still going. So yeah.
Any news about that YouTube channel 5-star? Which one is that? Ours? I mean, I don't know what you mean, Fang. Type me some more information. If you're curious as to why we haven't posted for the last 2 days, we just did 9 hours of live content. That's 9 hours, bro. I haven't gotten sleep in I literally got home.
You can even talk.
I know, dude. I've been talking. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
We literally did 9 hours of talking, and then I did another 2 hours on Kicker, and then I did another 2 hours last night, and now we're doing another half hour this morning. And I got home at 11 o'clock on Wednesday night, had to come right into work Thursday morning, and then did another 2 hours. It's like I haven't had time to do anything. I have literally, they picked me up at the airport. I said hi. I said hi to them last night after the show and went to bed. And then, of course, I get up early this morning.
Yeah. Nice. That's Victor.
Yeah, I know. What have you done for me lately?
It's Victor.
Dean, what goodies did you get from Kicker? I didn't get anything from Kicker. Kicker they were stingy this trip. No, they weren't. I'm joking. No, actually, the Kicker, it was, we got to play with the truck for 2 days, and I drove it for a week, so I mean, that was kind of nice. No, more or less, the only thing that happened while we were at Kicker, because they really have nothing to give, and I would not ask them for anything because, dude, trust me, there's nothing there to be given out. We just talked about new products as far as when they're going to be out and when we will be able to talk about them. So that was more of the topic there, was just talking to Steve, talking to engineering, and finding out, when we get to play with stuff and show you guys. My guess is SEMA. My guess.
No,
is
right now they still.
So
going.
here's the thing you got to keep in mind about SEMA. There's 12 events before SEMA happens.
Yeah.
All right, 12 events, and all those 12 events are scheduled to happen. So by the time we get to SEMA, there's more than likely SEMA will happen. Keep in mind, it's also the first week in November. We're only in September here. We got a long way to go before we go.
Yeah.
Kicker did not give me the finger, unless you mean like this way. All right, back to the news. Bauer & Winkle supplies speaker for a BMW iX.
Yeah.
this wasn't really a story I really cared too much about, other than to say, good for them. You know, I mean, the one thing that so I looked at it like this. This is a brand new, be it 2022 or 2023 when this system launches. This is a combination between BMW gave them the car and gave them free reign as far as how to tune it, where to put the speakers. Obviously, it was a total collab. Most of the time, it is a collaboration, meaning, you know, when JBL does a system for Toyota, Rockford does a system for Nissan,
Sony.
Bose does a system for GM, Harman does a system for everyone. They work together to come up with the best system for that car, and then they EQ it accordingly. This is nothing more than that. And I'm sure they're going to do a fabulous job, or at least the best job they can, because there's always that wall that you have to hit, meaning this car can sound so good because of the budget constraints. It's not like the Grand Cherokee, which I think is going to be the benchmark for all of them, and even that had a budget, but it comes with a Macintosh system, which is going to be super expensive. The point is, when these systems get in these cars, and they're going to suck, because we all know they suck. We've pulled out more BO, Boston, Bose, JBL, Harman. We pulled all these systems out.
Yeah.
Okay, usually it's 2 to 3 years later. Sometimes it's right away. But the thing that, as the consumer, you have to keep in mind is you paid like $4,000 or $5,000 extra to have this system. Most people think that they could spend a couple $1,000 and make these cars sound better than this.
I always hate that.
Oh, I hate it with passion.
Because you have a premium sound system that when you go into the dealer, they give you an option. You want the premium system, that means...
I didn't realize Weber fan was an EMT. Thanks, man. That's a job I could never do.
And then they give you the option. So the option is like $3,000-$4,000 more to get a premium sound system, and then they come over here or any other shop and I just got $1,000, man. Can we make it better? It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's that's really the only reason why I wanted to carry this or talk about this story, because for one, I'm excited. I mean, anytime a manufacturer feels like putting a better system in a car, the long run is that it just means more money that people are going to have to spend to make it sound better.
Yeah, but the people who's going to buy this car, it's fine.
Yeah, the people, like I said, it's not going to be the second owner or the third owner is going to be the guy that's going to be tearing
or
this stuff
the guy that actually really wants to improve the whole system is willing to change and pay the money to actually increases the experience.
Dean, 9 hours is just not enough.
Yeah, exactly. So it's gonna have a total of 2 diamond dome tweeters, 3 aluminum dome tweeters, and 5 fiber mid-range speakers.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they are using, and this is something that is unique, because most of the time when these car manufacturers do a Bose system, very rarely are they using anything manufactured by Bose or like JBL will help design the speaker, but they're just cheesy speakers that are made specifically for that car. It's not like this, whereas these guys said, we have this home speaker and we're going to put this home speaker in your car. Yeah. So as far as that goes, like when Dyne did like the Volvo or Saab deal where they actually took and put Dyne speakers in the car, back in the day, Bose used to put their 4-inch into cars. Like that was what you did. But for the most part, it's just manufacturers, like when you get a Beats by Dre system, there's nothing Beats by Dre, and it's just Beats by Dre doing a tune on the car. Chrysler puts a little bit of better speaker in there, but I don't think Beats has anything to do with it. That means that this is definitely something that is better. Even the Macintosh system, it's not like they're using Macintosh speakers. They're using a system designed by Alpine with Macintosh logos. I mean, they might use some Macintosh tweeters, but I don't,
Who designed the amplifier? Alpine or Macintosh?
Alpine designed the amplifier. Or Alpine's building the amplifier. Alpine has a lot to do with it. There again, guys, we all know it's stickers on the wall.
As soon as this weekend, I'm going to find out.
This weekend you're going to find out?
Yeah, I'm going to go there.
You're going to fly up there? You're going to fly up to Detroit?
Yeah.
Metro ships updated dash kit for Toyotas. Isn't this funny?
Dude.
Because this was last weekend before we left. So to start out with, this dash kit has been out of stock for months now. It was perfectly fine when you were just doing a double din like this. However, the construction of this kit left something to be desired. We just did one the other day, and yeah, we were just kind of like, all right, let me go to this and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And this is Metro realizing that, hey, we need to go back to the drawing board here and come up with a better product. And the main reason for it is, if you'll notice these two little tabs here on the bottom, like the front panel did not change, there's no reason for it to change. However, these brackets here on the bottom, see, I don't know if this is going to be better or worse than the old kit, because what I think is going to happen is it looks like these are not fastened to this now. It's just they changed the brackets and smoothed the kit.
So the front bezel is just going to snap in?
It just looks like this is going to snap in. So basically, they probably, I don't know, I'm going to have to get this kit and find out if it's worse than the other one. The previous one, the radio attached to the actual bezel here, it looks like if you go back and see how they designed this, just there again, this is a computer rendering, so who knows, but it looks like there's no snap-ins to attach to this.
Maybe it's like the Ford, the Ford that goes and it has a little grid that goes inside.
I don't know, because these screwed into this last time. Really, all they had to do is add these pieces to it. Either way, if these don't attach to this, the problem you're going to run into is that the radio is going to shake like this. So it'll hold the bigger radios, but now, because they're two pieces, we're going to have a problem like on the Nissans. That's why we don't use that kit. Either way, I'll be interested to...
As Victor, that was the first time that he...
Yeah. I mean, that was the Toyota.
And you built the tank? No, that was the Nissan Altima. Remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was the problem we had with the Nissan Altima, is that it would do this. And so we had to over-engineer it, so that kind of stinks.
Yeah, exactly.
But either way, it's nice that they're going back to the drawing board on this one.
It's not under the turbo kit. This is just a regular kit. The turbo kits are one with like screens and digital
so this
stuff.
is just stock number 998271S. It comes in silver, it comes in black.
The fitment is from 2010 and up.
Yeah, like I said, the kit already existed.
Yeah.
This is just a re-engineering of the kit. I
think the only thing they add, that was the brackets. That's it.
They did. They just changed the brackets.
There you go.
But I'm just curious to see how that's going to affect. If there again, there's no reason if you bought the kit and had a 4Runner that you put it in.
Yeah.
Really, the only problem you may run into is that if you're doing a floating screen radio, there really wasn't a ton of support there to hold the floating screen radio. So that kind of sucked. Heading over to Fernando's laptop.
Who's that?
Our close friend Marty Dean, who has been on the show, I don't know, a couple times?
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah. You guys might recognize him if you're fans of Car Audio Fabricator. He was the one that did the collaboration with him on the Supra.
Yep.
The red Supra.
Yep.
Sounds Plus.
Yes.
He has since sold Sounds Plus and has gone to work for HKI, which is our friends that handle Ground Zero and Sound Digital, and now and 4Connect, the wire that's hanging over there.
Yep.
This is a new OEM integration. There's not a lot of information that they're talking about. We have talked to them about it, and this is going to be an interesting thing for sure. Once we know more, we'll of course talk about it. However, what we're basically, it's a lot of little modules that allow you to modify your car fairly easily and add features that the manufacturer didn't see fit to add. So, for example, like one button roll up or auto. It's just a plethora of things. Now, this stuff is available in Europe and in South America right now. It just hasn't made its way into the United States.
Yeah.
So they're going to be importing it in, and he is going to be in charge of it. So we're pretty excited to have Marty in charge of that, and it's nice that he's his goal was to get out and sell his business and go to work for a manufacturer and kind of relax a little bit and have some fun. I can't say that's not a bad idea. Kind of down with that. And it's something that he's good with, is modules and stuff like that, because a lot of this is just like remote starts where there's T-harnesses and add it in and go. One other story that Fernando, go full screen on that.
Okay.
Yeah. One other story Fernando found that was kind of interesting. And I know what you're saying. Wait a minute, that's all in Spanish.
Well,
It's okay.
Just Google.
Yeah, Google Translate, bro. Well, what do we got, Fernando?
All
What
right,
is this telling
so
us?
this one I found out last night. I went and just, some of our good friends from Mexico, they post this, Ricardo. Hertz and Addison in Mexico just find out that one container was stolen. Unfortunately, a few people lost their lives for this.
For car audio.
For car audio, yes. That's like, it's really bad, man. So they stole the whole container. So of course everything has a serial number and everything. And they trying to track right now all the merchandise. They know there is gonna be a lot of people selling all this stuff under the
Black market?
yes, in the black market. So the only thing they ask is just help them out. If you see that somebody's selling, don't buy it. Go to the actually dealers.
So this is straight Fast and Furious style,
Yeah.
Toretto, Fast and Furious 1, stealing electronics. But I mean, I get it though. That's the sad thing is that this just goes to show like what value electronics have now that they're willing to kill people, which is just stupid.
So that was a car that was like, what do you go when they go behind that big semi truck?
Yeah, a car behind a big semi truck.
Yeah, they trying to figure it out if everything is fine, nothing is gonna happen to the truck. Anyway, same thing.
I saw Fast and Furious 1. This is the same thing that happened. So.
Right. So they disappeared. It's a lot of people disappear right now. They find few people. Of course, they lost their lives and everything. So it's unfortunately.
Yeah, and that is, and there again, I feel like they stole it from. I mean, it's pitiful, man.
Yeah,
it's pitiful.
yeah.
It's just car audio. It's definitely not It's definitely not worth anyone losing their lives over. Because I'm sure the driver would have gladly handed over the keys, and not.
Right.
It's I don't want to die over some car stereo equipment.
I mean, what are you gonna do? When you have a guys right there with guns and everything, it's like, hey man, right there, take it. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, man, it's not worth it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
An escort vehicle.
An escort vehicle. Thank you so much, man. Hey.
Yeah.
So yeah, an escort vehicle and the whole container, everything. So there you go.
Well, guys, that brings us to the end of the news. Tomorrow is Saturday, and normally we'd be having a show Saturday. However, I'm going to try to spend some time with the girls tomorrow, so I've taken the day off and left the show to Fernando. Of course, he's the only one that works here anyway, so it's all right. Won't be any different. So we'll be back here Monday. We got a fun week planned for you next week. Don't worry. All the content that we normally create will be live Monday. We have a bunch of shows. Well, of course, if you've been paying attention to Install Diaries, we'll have the conclusion, hopefully, of the Explorer build. So I know we missed a week last week because we were traveling and things just were a little crazy. It happens. There's 9 hours of content, though. Please feel free to go back. And if you didn't catch the Kicker show that I was on, please go and watch it. It was a really fun show. I had a great time doing it. If you're at all interested in Kicker Key, I don't know, but we kind of stumbled into that. Plus, the really cool thing is one of the first pieces of Kicker product that I ever owned personally, they had in the warehouse because of the museum they're getting ready to build, which I also, not in the video, but I did in private get a chance to talk to Roger, who is in charge of the museum, to kind of get an idea of what they're going to be doing there. So once that gets up and built, if COVID ever ends, we'll probably head back out there and do some kind of museum review and just talk about it. That was the plan, man. That was the plan.
That's awesome.
I mean, let's be honest. I didn't go all the way to Kicker to listen to Kip talk. What fun would that be? I mean, come on. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning into the news. Like I said, if you want links to any of the stories that we talked about, we'll have them in the description. It'll take you over to CE Outlook. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you have a great Friday. Do what you do. Get back to work. Have fun. We got a full day ahead of us, so we'll see you later next time.
Bye, guys.